All right, you guys, welcome to our town hall meeting. You guys, I just wanted to start off by introducing Alex.
Hello, everybody.
Alex is our new housekeeping and laundry director for the community. So he's the one you guys will go to if you need carpet cleaning, windows washed, any concerns with your housekeepers that we have. He comes to assist you. You guys know a little bit about him. He has a lot of years of experience directing people and being a supervisor. So he's worked, his most recent spot was he was working at a local hospital as one of the housekeeping directors there. And then prior to that, he's been a housekeeping and environmental service director at a resort here in the valley. And then prior to that, you guys, he had some sales experience and stuff in where he came from Mexico, and overseeing a department down there. So do you have anything you'd like to say?
I'll just say thank you everybody because everybody's beautiful with me, and thank you everybody. If you need something, just let me know. Okay. Thank you.
You guys see him, he's out and about quite a bit. He's not an office sitter. He likes to be out. He's checking on the housekeepers. I know he came to me one day and he's like, some of the residents are asking why I'm coming in behind my housekeepers. Right? Because you've had the same housekeeper for forever. He said, because I want to make sure that the unit's clean the way he wants it done. So you're going to see him checking up on his housekeepers to make sure that it's up to his standards and the standards here at our community. So know that that's going to start happening, and he won't come every week, but he'll pop in, every quarter or something, and just check on the cleanliness of the apartments and make sure that the housekeepers are doing what they're supposed to. Not to check on you guys, but to make sure that after they clean that they're doing what we want done. So, thank you, Alex.
Thank you, everybody.
So, you guys, we wanted to give a shout out to Joe and her team and the transportation department, and Fran and who else? Pat helped for the vaccine clinics that we had done. We just got them all done last month. Good job. Truly, we have well over 100 independent living residents that got vaccinated. We're probably into the 120 mark, which puts us nearly over 90% of our residents are vaccinated. In the assisted living, we have 100%, and in the healthcare, there were only 2 that didn't get vaccinated. And they couldn't because of their health concerns with their doctors. So we've done really well on getting vaccinated here at the community. And I had another question that came in that I wanted to talk about. Why did we change the meeting to the afternoon, right? Well, because we're gonna get what we really wanted. When I had it early in the morning, I had a lot of residents come to me and asking, why are we doing it so early in the morning, right? So, and then I called and I talked to my mom and dad, and I said, what time should I be holding a meeting for everybody to get there? And I said, I'm doing it around 9 o'clock. And they said, well, we're still sleeping at 9 o'clock some days. So we're changing the meeting to accommodate more people so they can be up. It's going to be the same day that we're having a happy hour, so those that come to happy hour can just go right into happy hour. You guys are already here. And if it runs in here where we're 5-10 minutes longer than we're supposed to, we'll make sure happy hour runs to where you guys can still get everything. Okay, so don't worry about that. And I'll try to keep my agenda to a half hour. So I want to give you guys some COVID updates beyond the vaccines, but please remember to always wear your mask when you're in the common areas and when you're out and about. If you're passing by and socially visiting with people, wash your hands and use the hand sanitizer. Check in the entryway. We were doing stickers. The stickers were falling off, and so we discontinued those. I was having to scrape them up off the parking lot, or out on the walkways and stuff, because they would be down, and then we were down scraping them. So we discontinued those because they wouldn't stay on throughout the entire day. Another thing, you guys, we are reopening more. We're going into a level 4 reopening. You guys will see some more activities being done. We held a barbecue last week. We're gonna have a luau coming up. and some other fun events that are happening. You guys went on an outing, some of you yesterday, for the first time in a year. So things are looking up for us. I want to remind you guys, as you're playing card games and you're sitting close to one another, to always have your mask on. We are encouraging you guys to wear gloves. If you choose not to, then that's on you guys, okay? And if you get sick or anything from it, it's not us, because we are encouraging you guys to still wear gloves when you're playing cards in those close games, but I know some of you don't want to, and that's okay. You're adults, and you guys can decide what you would like to do with that. And let me look here. We had a resident advisory council that we had going for probably 2 years in the community. We met last month for our last meeting that we were going to have, and we kind of disbanded the council because we felt like things were getting addressed, and the residents that were on the council weren't getting as many calls to them to funnel up to the management. If we ever need that council back, we will reinstate it and get some team members or some residents to join that council. So we're looking to start 2 committees. We're looking at starting the activity committee to give us ideas for programming and what you guys want to see happen. And Joe's going to be running that committee. And then we are looking at an ambassador committee. That's going to be for all new residents that are moving onto the property, how we can welcome them better. So just look for, if you guys want to be part of those groups, and this is from the Resident Advisory Council. They're the ones that decided, hey, let's not have this council anymore, but let's start these other 2 committees. So if you're asked to join that committees, please come and be active participants in them, because we want to hear your voices and find out what's going on. Yeah?
T, can we also put out there for a food committee meeting,
Definitely.
the council for that? Looking
Yeah,
for
we will
16
start a food
people.
committee council as well. So, a food council. So you guys, if you guys want to voice your opinion on dining service, on food, and that type of thing that we can improve on, Lori will be holding a food committee. So just look for those flyers to come out, and please come and join those committees. I wanted to give you guys some updates on our capital improvement projects that we have going on. Because the parking lot was complete, and then what happened a month later? They came and tore up our parking lot, right? The city did. So, and they did that because every time that the chillers would kick on and we would have some other big stuff happen, our power would go out in sections of our community. And the city saw that on their grid. And so we had called and asked them to fix the problem. And they had to actually come in and run new lines to our transformer, because the ones that were ran were not run in any conduit. So they were just wires in the ground. Yeah. And so it was a city issue that we were having problems. So they came and fixed that, and they realized it ran all the way down the street. As you guys are going to see, they're going to another location as well. So they're going to get that fixed for us. The fire alarm system is complete. I would say 99% complete, right? They're still coming and buttoning a few things up, but we shouldn't hear any more testing. That's already been completed. It was already passed off by the city. So the fire alarms should be 99% complete. The flooring in the main common area right here, you guys, is complete, and the painting, I believe today was his last day of his painting, so I think we're done with it, and that project's wrapped up. And then we are looking at getting some new furniture. We're going to probably get some new furniture for this section down here, and then the reception area, we're going to get a new reception desk and things. That one's just all beat up and stuff, so we're going to get a real reception desk there. The chiller system, if you guys remember, that was dropped and we had to replace that. They are still constructing it, and it should be here in the month of April. So within this next month, they should have it installed. The current system, you guys can tell it's a little warm in here. Yeah. So that fired on and was starting to work, and it worked for a bit, and then there are a ton of warning lights came on. So it's the first time we really fired it up and started utilizing it. And so they are out here and they are looking at to see what's wrong with the system and to get it back online. Air handlers are working. They have one more that they need to get done. They're still waiting on parts, but they're gonna have all those wrapped up and done. That's part of the air conditioning system. And then our beam project. We have, the beam project is in the works, you guys, and I know that we've talked about this for years, right? About the beams. We had to get contractors. I've actually been on a call with them, and we're moving along with the project. I'm gonna be able to give you guys some renderings. I'm probably gonna put them on our TV of what it's gonna look like when we get it done, because we're in that phase. We have gotten it approved, or we're going to approval through the city once again, and that should be happening this month of April. Yeah.
Are you looking to replace the beams, or are you gonna supplement it with?
We are taking them out and putting new ones in. Yeah.
Great job.
So it's a big job. And then we're gonna look at trying to figure out what the problem was any place the beams are rotting is where there's no roof. So we're trying to get some kind of a roof to cover them so that it drains, and then we have to redo all of the walkways when we do that. So it's turned into a very big project. Because we don't wanna, once we remove the beam, there could be some integrity issue with the walkways, so we need to replace the walkways when we do that. So it's gonna be a bigger project than just pulling a beam down and putting a new one up. So that's why it grew into a bigger project. It is a 2-year project to get everything done once they start working and working on it. Yeah, it's a huge project. Grown from a $500,000 project to well over $1 million plus to get things done. So we're gonna spend $1 million this year and then probably another 500,000 next year. So, but we're working on it, and I'll get some renderings out there as soon as I receive those. Some other improvement updates that we have, that horrible shed on, out by the villas, that's over a year old. Our contractor came out, not ours, the one that the insurance sent out, right? They came out to replace it on the 4th of last month when I said it was gonna be done. They had the wrong door size, they turned around, walked away, and never came back. So we kept calling and trying to find out where they were, and that's truly what happened. So we have 2 other bids that the CBRE, which is the insurance company, wants us to get. We're submitting them to them, and they're gonna pull the trigger on one of them. So, and we kept wondering why, and they didn't ever get an answer back from the contractors until we just finally got an answer last week. The insurance company finally was like, what the heck, and that's what happened. So, somebody asked about the contractors with DSSI that are doing our room turns out there. And, you know, the holdup and what's taking them so long to get room turns done when we're, for the new move-ins. This is a national vendor that we use, is DSSI. They subcontract with subs to do all the work. We had a group that was out here that we had started with doing all of the work, and we are no longer using that subcontracting group. And so we have a new one that has joined the community. So you guys are gonna see a different group out here, but their work is getting done a lot quicker than the old group. 228, for example, was the old group. They got to where they're at, and we've started with a new group so that we can get the project done. Because they were taking way too long, and so they actually paid them out, and they're bringing in somebody new to get that project moving along, as well with other projects we have in the community. So the lovely bus that we have out there, I just thought it was something nice to leave there for a month or so out by the villas. If you guys drive around the perimeter lane, right? You see that? That should be towed away today. So you see it every morning when you go on a walk. Maybe you won't see it when you go on a walk next time. So, but they said they were coming out. The tow company called us today and said they were gonna be out here today to remove it off our property. So that's good. The dining room. I had some questions and concerns about the dining room, and let me just tell you what they are. Service concerns from the frontline team was one of them. They said that some people came to the tables and then they didn't return, and you know, coffee and that kind of thing. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that we had our we were aware of some of this. Lori had come and talked to me about it. We had our regional food and beverage director go up. He actually served for a meal to see how things flowed up there and was working. And then he did some training with the frontline workers out there. The dining, the servers and the hostess and that type of thing. And he's gonna go back and he's gonna do another round of training so that they can get some training and improve the service for you guys. And then food was another concern. There was some tough meat that was sent out some nights. I heard about that and that type of thing. So go to the food committee that we're gonna start. Lori is going to be working with our executive chef here, Ruben, to make sure that he is making sure the food is prepared properly and that he's checking it before it goes out. If the meat is tough, if we can't tenderize it, we're gonna do something else. So if the food is not what we want when it's on the menu and we have to change it, and you guys come in and you're thinking you're gonna get a steak, or you're gonna, if we got a steak, right? But if you're gonna get some kind of cut of meat and we have changed the menu, it's because the meat didn't pass our test. So just note that. Lori is aware of that as well. Our cafe attendant, Lori has had several interviews with that, and they have all, I think she's had a couple that have showed up, but the rest have stood her up. So it's not because we're not paying enough, because she's actually asked people out there when she's going through drive-through windows and stuff that give great service, if they're interested in coming. She's handed out her business card. We are looking to cross-train somebody in-house so that we can start and open up the cafe back. So Lori will put out a notice when that's gonna happen. She is hiring a few other team members to fill some spots with that. All right. All right, you guys, and then on to our dog owners, right? Our furry friends. I just want to remind you guys that we need to pick up after our dogs if they go to the bathroom. That's really important because we're finding poop out there throughout the property. And then make sure you guys curb your dogs if they're barking. Bring them in. Don't let them just sit out there and bark away. Neighbors are, it's just, you can hear it in the house. If they're out barking and they're on the patio, bring them on in to the house. Take them for a walk on a leash so that they're not out just barking at passerbys. And then another big thing, if we're in the common area here, they could be here if you're coming in to check your mail and you're walking through, but we don't want them in an activity or a programming if we're here like in the auditorium. We don't want them in the club room, and for sure they can't go in the dining room upstairs. So just make sure that they're at home and inside if you're gonna come here with that. But if you guys come to check your mail, you can bring them in. It's fun to see the dogs around, but not in the activities. And then the recycling bin, we have a proposal that we have from Waste Management, and we're looking at putting a recycling bin. We're gonna get some for here that we can use, and then we're gonna have a big bin out. I don't know where we're at in the property, but there's the spot over here, I think, that we can put the bin on Perimeter Road. So you guys should see a new blue recycling bin coming in.
What can you put in that recycling bin?
I'm gonna say you can put cardboard, paper, plastic bottles.
Aluminum?
Let me think what else is on the list today.
Aluminum?
I think aluminum will be able to be recycled, yeah. So I'll make sure when we get that, we'll get a list out to everybody so that you guys know what we can recycle and what we can't. So it'll be good. And then Linda and her crew won't have to haul the recycling bags out to her car, drive them around, have somebody pick them up and take them off site. So this will be good for us. And we're just waiting for them to let us know when it's gonna be delivered. So hopefully we can get that moving pretty quick. You guys, window cleaning and carpet cleaning and annual cleanings in your apartments. Alex has come in and he has put together a schedule because they were just hodgepodge before. And so he actually has got a schedule of when your apartments are gonna be clean on what days, and when the annual cleanings are gonna take place, and when the windows are gonna be cleaned and the carpet. So he's gonna tie that all together, so if you have an annual cleaning, your carpet will be cleaned that same time frame. You know, I can't say Thursday the carpenters are gonna be there, but they'll be there that week or the next week after to clean your apartments. And then windows as well, if you guys need your windows cleaned, just call him and let him know, and we'll make sure we get out there and get that done. And then on to our work orders that are out there. We have several work orders that are outstanding, because I look at those on a daily basis and talk to Ben about what's going on. He is managing the process with the team that he has in place here and everything that they have going on. And they are getting work orders completed. It's not just out here in the independent living that they're doing it. They have to do it for the healthcare and the assisted living. And we do have a crew of 5 that are working on them. Some are bigger projects than we think, and we go to work on one little thing and it turns into a bigger project. So he is working on them. I know I do have a list of priority things that we need to get done. And he's got that on his list as well, because him and I meet about it every week. So we know where we're at. Yeah,
I have had a work order in for 1 year.
okay.
I have not been able to get Spotlight.
So
1960.
you will talk to me after, okay? Because
Okay.
this meeting's not for that.
Okay.
And then another big thing, and the last thing I'll leave with you guys, is our landscaping, right? Or do we have enough weeds out there? Right? Like if I moved all the weeds that we had, it could fill up half of our pool like that, right? It just looks horrible. We've had our landscapers out last week. Ben walked with them. He showed the guy. They came in and put that pre-emergent down so that it wasn't supposed to have weeds, you know, that we did. We actually spent over $2,500 to have them spray the property. I don't think whatever the chemical they were using didn't work, right? Because there are weeds everywhere. And so we have had them come out again last week and showed them where they needed to work. Nothing has gotten done, so we have called the national vendor that we're using that's over top of these guys. And Ben contacted them yesterday. I'm calling them again today because they were out here today and they didn't pull any weeds. So I'm gonna call them again today, and then we're gonna, either these guys are gonna get it together or we're gonna get a new contractor in the community, because we have too many weeds out there and it's too big for Ruben to go and pull all the weeds. That would be his full-time job, but they need to come and correct what they've done. So trust me, I see it. Ben is getting bids to get all of the trees trimmed and the bushes trimmed. You guys look for it on the TV and a notice going out. We're gonna do section by section. If we pull the trigger on everything, it would be too much for our budget, but we're gonna do section by section, and it's gonna go out and he's gonna inform us on when that's gonna be completed. So look for that, because Ben will get that out. It'll be in your cubby, a notice of when trees are gonna be trimmed, and then it's gonna go out on the TV as well. So you guys can see a zone map of when we're gonna be doing which sections. So you guys, also, I have handwritten in here, in the next month of April, look for a notice on the TV as well, and in your mailbox, of when your building is going to have their HVAC filters replaced. So they're gonna give a notice of when they're gonna come in. It'll probably be in a week's time frame. They're gonna say building 7 are gonna be coming in and changing your AC filters. They'll be doing it up on the roof and then in your unit as well. So look for that. As we are moving into our reopening, and then I'll wrap it up here. You guys remember that if we have any outbreaks or cases of COVID, we won't stop all of our activities and our programming if we have a one-off case, but if we have an outbreak, which is 3 or more cases, we are gonna have to look at making sure that we keep everybody safe. So as we're reopening, we really are gonna do things safely. You're gonna see us social distance. You're gonna see that we are doing the best that we can. I know the governor lifted the mask mandate. I'm glad you guys are all wearing them, because they're still required here when you guys are in the common areas. But if we need to, we'll let you guys know if we have to change any of our protocol as we're reopening because of COVID. Even though we're vaccinated, we still want to keep everybody safe, and it's an ongoing pandemic, and it's ebbing and flowing. So just keep that in mind. If you guys need to speak with me, please talk to the receptionist. She'll set up a time or send me an email. Make sure to tell her to send me an email, and then I'll call you guys back and we can set up a time when we can meet to discuss whatever we need to. Fran's office is ready now for her to move in. We had to get some data lines put in, but she's gonna be moving in down here. I told you guys that a couple months ago. We couldn't do it because there was a water leak, but she can move in now because everything is completed. So you'll see Fran down here. She's a point person as well to get things done. So thank you guys, and we hope we have a fun April here in the community. I know it's Passover week and it's Easter for those who celebrate, and I wish you guys the happiest holiday time and stuff with that. So thank you guys. Yeah, go to happy hour. Hurry up.
Lori, yeah, Elaine, I'd like